Welcome to the only daily podcast focusing on compliance news of the day. Each morning, start your day with a cup of coffee and Tom Fox, the voice of compliance, to hear about 4 of the top compliance, corruption, or leadership stories you will need to start your day. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network.
April 13, 2021, the Return to the Office edition. And we begin with that story. As reported in the Wall Street Journal, IT leaders seek tech solutions to creating belonging and trust. IT leaders are ramping up investments in collaboration tools and automated repetitive tasks as they reimagine the new era of the hybrid office in the coming months, with employees splitting times between their homes and physical offices. One company is experimenting with virtual avatars to lessen so-called Zoom fatigue. Pepsi is exploring how to automate business processes to free up time for employees. SurveyMonkey is testing a way to answer many IT-related questions through AI-based chatbots. And a division of PwC is developing an app that allows employees to reserve physical workspaces. So employers are thinking about the next phase of the pandemic where we have a hybrid work space and workforce. Next up, also from the Wall Street Journal, Boeing shareholders are weighing the need for more changes to the board. Boeing has made several changes to the membership and structure of its board since the second 737 MAX crash 2 years ago. Investors will soon decide whether the company has done enough. Shareholders ahead of the Boeing's April 20 annual meeting are weighing whether to re-elect the company's slate of 10 board members or follow a proxy advisor firm's recommendation to vote against longtime directors Larry Kellner and Edmund Giambastiani. The vote comes as Boeing and its board face several major challenges, of course, restoring confidence in the 737 MAX, navigating COVID-19's pandemic slowdown in air travel, and overcoming the quality and engineering problems in its commercial, defense, and space industries, or divisions rather. Next up, from the New York Times, an article about Archegos, the privately held trading firm that has a $10 billion loss in a spectacular collapse last month, never publicly disclosed any stock investments. Even for a firm whose structure and strategy came with few regulatory requirements, apparently that's a remarkable achievement. Money managers with $100 million or more in stocks are generally required to declare what securities they are invested in every quarter. But Archegos, the so-called family office, did not publicly file such a document called a 13F in its eight-year history. This lack of a paper trail is uncommon for a firm with so much money, and it clearly speaks to them wanting to hide what they're doing. So more fallout from Archegos. And finally, we conclude with Georgia is not on the mind of Apple and Will Smith as they became the biggest Hollywood entities to take concrete action against Georgia and its racist voter suppression law by pulling a movie production out of the state. The film was a drama about slavery called Emancipation, and they're going to move the filming of the production and the production work to another state. It appears that state will be Louisiana. And you might ask, well, why would you move from Georgia to Louisiana? Well, the short answer is Louisiana has yet to pass a voter suppression law based upon the racist ideas of the MAGA hat-wearing Trumpites. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to Georgia if businesses really do start to pull out. There are obviously several major multinationals there. Delta and Coca-Cola come to mind, and what they do going forward. The movie production industry has benefited greatly from tax incentives by the state of Georgia to move there for film production, but that may come to a screeching halt based on this new law. The Daily Compliance News is a production of the Compliance Podcast Network and a proud member of C-Suite Radio. Thanks so much for listening. I hope you'll join me again tomorrow.